So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about simplifying expressions. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be just taking a look at certain things, defining certain terms, and going from there. Okay, so main goal of this unit is to solve the quadratic equation to the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. To complete the task, we're going to have to review some algebra from grade 9 and 10. Now, when we talk about terms, this is what we mean. So imagine I have something that looks like this, 3x squared. This whole thing here, let's say plus 3x squared. So this whole thing here is called a term. The number that's sitting in front of the x squared is called the coefficient. And the x squared term is called a variable. Terms are what separate variables from, terms from other terms. If I have two x squared terms, I can add those two together. If I have two y terms, I can add those or subtract those as well. So let's go over these examples that we have here. So for this one here, we have 3x minus 5y plus 15y minus 17x. We're going to take a look at this thing called collecting like terms. Like terms are any variables that have the same, that are exactly the same. So in this case, we have 3x and negative 17x as being the same type of term, so we can add them together. Now we're going to rearrange the terms so that all the x's are beside each other and all the y's are beside each other. So now we have equals 3x minus 17x minus 5y plus 15y. Now in doing so, what you've just done is you've kind of put them together. So now we can essentially look at the things that are the same, add and subtract them together. So now 3x minus 17x is minus 14x. And negative 5y plus 15y is plus 10y. Now what we'll do is we'll move on to the next problem. Now, for these problems, we're actually looking at how brackets affect a plus sign. Okay, so the first bracket here that we have here doesn't have any plus or minus in front of it. So essentially what you can do is you can drop the bracket. So we get 5m squared plus 6m minus 10. If there is strictly a 1 sitting in front of a bracket with a plus sign in front of it, we can essentially look at it as a 1 sitting in front, a plus 1. So imagine we're going to take the plus 1 and we're going to multiply it by 2m squared, which is going to be just plus 2m squared. And then we do the same again for plus 1 times minus 7m, and that's going to be minus 7m. And once more, plus 1 times negative 14 is negative 14. So now we're going to collect our like terms again. So in this case, we've got m squared terms that are the same. We have m terms that are the same. And we have just basic numbers, which are the same. So we're going to use those three and put them side by side to see what they look like. So you got 5m squared plus 2m squared plus 6m minus 7m minus 10 minus 14. 5 and 2 gives 3m, nope, not 3m squared, 8m squared. 6 minus 7 gives us minus 1m. Negative 10 minus 14 is negative 24. Now, The next part of the problem is when we have something like this. So just like before, the first bracket, you'll notice there's nothing sitting in front of it, so we can just immediately drop the bracket. So we get 3x squared plus 2x minus 1. But now we have nothing in front of the bracket, so we're going to imagine there's a 1 sitting in front of that bracket. So it's minus 1 times 5x squared. So minus 1 times 5x squared is negative 5x squared. Minus 1 times negative 6x is plus 6x. Minus 1 times 3, positive 3, is minus 3. So let's go and collect our like terms. So notice we have 3x squared and minus 5x squared. We're also going to have 2x and 6x and plus 6x. And finally, we have minus 1 and minus 3. Now, if you notice what happened with everything in this bracket. If there was a minus sign sitting in front of this bracket, all we have to do is flip the sign of everything that comes inside the bracket. So plus 5x squared becomes minus 5x. Negative 6x becomes plus 6x, and plus 3 becomes minus 3. So that's just another way of looking at that. So if there is no number sitting in front, just imagine there's a 1, and all you're going to do is just flip your signs. Now let's collect our like terms by rearranging. So we got 3x squared minus 5x squared plus 2x plus 6x minus 1 minus 3. 3x squared minus 5x squared is minus 2x squared. 2x plus 6x is plus 8x. And then minus 3 minus 1 is minus 4. So your homework for today is this. Good luck.